So yeah, what's up, y'all? It's Black Souls, and today, we're gonna do this for real this time. We're gonna do this for real this time because as y'all, I don't know if y'all saw, but when I did this last night, there was just there was just a bunch of just factors. Yesterday was a bad experience. Yesterday was a bad experience. We're here now, but last night was not good. It was not good. So we made it like 45 minutes into it. I don't know if I should just start from the top. No. We're gonna 26-minute mark.
Underground movement into a trend thing. If it's anyone, it's not us. But I guess most people would say that. That's what people usually ask, you know. Like, how the hell did it happen?
Guys, I look good. Hold on. I look good. Look at that.
I guess I gotta buy that.
Look at my fucking eyes, dog. Yeah.
The mission statement was not escaping the death metal trend, but definitely we were thinking of not stepping in the garish footsteps of what became commercial death metal.
Yeah, guys, the reason I'm doing this now is because I want to do it before my brother and fucking other people wake up. Not my brother Chris, but my oldest brother Cody and McKaylee. Because I don't want to deal with no fucking noise. Because then y'all can't fucking hear it as well.
Well, what do you know? What are we looking at here?
Some I recognize about Ferrets, it seems like Ferris is actually a nice guy. It seems like Fenritz, no, not Ferrets, Fenritz. Seems like Fenritz is a nice guy.
Cultural relevant phenomenon of Norway, and I just couldn't find any. I think Norway is kind of exploding with all this kind of mediocre cultural activity, and then if there are other relevant phenomena, then they are usually just completely ignored, which is happening with this Norwegian black metal here in Norway. What interested me the most was both the visual aesthetics, this kind of stereotype with this corpse paint, that you can make it into kind of visual stereotype, that both is quite something you feel you've seen before, but it's not quite like what you've seen before.
Yeah.
This Transylvanian hunger photo, if you compare that to the Scream, there is so much visual similarities. And I don't think it's such a far-fetched reference as many people think. With Munch in Norway, there has been this kind of this fear of Munch, the fear of his emotional excessiveness and his kind of the fear of this easy genius and
Like,
this very, very extreme Norwegian person. And I think the only thing that really had the relevance to the kind of emotional content of what Edvard Munch was is Norwegian black metal. I have like this tour now, which will be 4 one-man shows in different European.
yeah, but some I do want to let people know is that like I want people to know that like I hope people know that black metal existed before the Norwegians started doing it. That shit existed before. It's just that they played a big part in the second wave, but that's second wave. There was a first wave before that, which stretched from like the early '80s to like the late '80s. That was first wave, and then second wave was like the '90s. I would. It was like it was just pretty much just the '90s as a whole. Specifically 1990, specifically 1990 to like 1997, I would say.
Museums, which will have a black metal theme.
I'm just gonna leave it at 15.
This is the basement for the famous shop. We really wanted to create some kind of gathering point for our friends and people like us. We try to keep it as dark as possible, candle lights, and decorated the walls with, picture discs from Venom, Celtic Frost, the battery, and that kind of stuff. And we also have some weapons there, helmets, skulls, and bones, and stuff like that.
It was a huge shop. At one point, John Krishnak was living in the cellar. Borg Faust was living behind the counter, sort of. And Euronymous himself lived there in a small hideaway up in a small. Say this piece right there was removable. He was living, sleeping up in the fucking roof. We used to sit in a sofa behind the desk in a part of the shop that was not used. So it was like in a dark corner, so to speak. Now, when he was drinking, we were talking. And these heavy metal guys came in, with nails all over the jackets because they had the impression that you have to have nails. That's a part of the game. And so we could sit there talk about everything really, like cornflakes. We were discussing. Gilva asked me so how do you like your cornflakes? Do you like them crispy or do you like them soft? And I said, well, I like them crispy. And he said, no. It's better when they're really soft. You have to put the milk and let it just rest for a while, and then you eat it. And then these heavy metal guys could enter. And we stopped talking because, we didn't really want to talk to them, and we did not want to get to know them. And of course, he was, the drummer of Darkthrone, the boss in Darkthrone, and I was playing in the Bursum, and we were like there, some sort of idols of some sort. So they were watching us, and
Fuck, it's
if we ever talked to one of them, they boasted to their friends that Gilva of Darkthrone talk to me. Of course, and he really did, because he had, it was pretty much we shared the opinion that these guys weren't particularly interesting, living in a very small community with about 500 citizens.
Oh, there's.
I was falling a little bit outside the normal doing so. The people at my age, because I was
funny.
interested in football.
We got
I was
Faust.
also
We
really
got
interested in
Faust.
playing in the local school dance.
We got
I
Faust.
think I somewhat needed another thing to focus on. And it wasn't until I was 16 years old I moved to Lillehammer. And I lived there for 2 years, and I moved to Oslo to work in the shop of Uranus.
I started here, and he was a very helpful worker, and mainly it was behind the counter, selling records and stuff to customers. I think that he really enjoyed working here. I mean, it was like from a little community long outside of Oslo, and when he come to Oslo, he could start working immediately, and I think that was very good for him. And besides, he had the work that he really enjoyed, and that's why we enjoyed having Faust here, so it was cool.
Supporter of Faust. And what? In support of the true warrior bard Faust Lithium, who serves 14 years for murder and arson. What the fuck? Of course they're gonna think that shit is cool.
Well, when I was told that Faust actually killed his fucking family in Lillehammer, I was quite surprised because, I didn't think that he had the guts to do such thing. But, I really honor him for that.
Hellhammer, excuse me? You honor... Did you say you honor him because this man stabbed a gay man to death? Okay. I guess. Bro, this fucking depressing ass fucking... This depressing sounding ass guitar, bro. Damn. And I want to tell y'all something. The reason why the two streams I did last night, the reason why I ended up privating them is because there's something that there's just some that I unintentionally caught on camera. And what happened was is my brother Chris, he was just chilling. He was just on his phone, and then he looked up at the sky. He was looking up at towards the ceiling. So his eyes were falling. And then what happened was, in the span of 3 seconds, he went from here to here. And he started convulsing and shit. My brother ended up having a seizure. He ended up having a seizure. That's why I ended the fucking... That's why it took me a little bit to end the fucking stream, cause I was just in shock. And I honestly forgot that I was streaming still when that happened. I honestly forgot. But yeah. But that was kind of a traumatic thing for me, to be honest. I'm still I'm half of me is still not okay with what happened, because I literally watched that shit. I literally watched him go from here to here. I saw him looking at some shit, and then he went from then he fell hard as fuck to the ground, and he ended up hitting his head on like the floor, and then he just started convulsing, like he was having a seizure, and I had a so that shit kind of fucked me up. Like that what I did there, that shit wasn't for show. That shit really happened right in front of my eyes. I literally saw that shit happen. I literally saw that shit happen. And that and it and it was not a good feeling. It was not a good feeling. So yeah. Wait, there's something I do want to do. Let's actually go back. So we made it. So for the first section, we made it to like the 26-minute mark. When we make it to the 26, when we make it around the 26-minute mark, then I'll go back. Then I'll go back to like the 35-minute mark.
It's fine. It's fine. It's dark outside. Check out the frame. Looks good, I think.
Yeah, it's cool.
Alright. Here we go.
I'm gonna be pissed off if my stream gets ruined again. I'm gonna be mad. I mean, with the other movies, it was fine. It's not fine with this one, because the thing is, I can actually let y'all hear the fucking audio. Because this is one of the only this is like the only movie that I've been able to like, I may not able to show show the footage, but it allows me to let people hear the audio. I mean, it's not my fault that this movie can be loud as shit. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that this shit can be loud as fuck. It's not my fault. But I don't want you to be. Fenrix. Yeah, nice. The fucking hair is all over the place.
Darkthrone was the first to release an album with this black metal genre, and Gilder was the leader of the group, so to speak. He's more like a philosopher than somebody who, more than an ideologist. The band was very successful and in many ways was the band. Gilder is, as I said, is a special person with special goals, and it's impossible to know what his goals are. He's successful at what he's doing. I guess he's happy with that.
Now that I think about it, I mean, it's no excuse for, it's no, like, I mean, shit, there's no excuse for, like, Varg being, like, racist and, at one point being a neo-Nazi and stuff. But, like, if you think about it and you look at his childhood, you don't have to support it, or you don't have to make up an excuse for him. But all I'm saying is when you look at Varg's childhood and stuff, you can kind of understand why he ended up becoming racist and looking down on other people that are different races, because Varg gets it from his father. There's no disputing that. He gets it from his father. And there's actually a couple interviews I read to. There's actually a couple interviews that I read and listened to where he actually admitted to it. No one told me it was wrong, because, like, shit. And it seemed like he wasn't just dealing with one racist parent. It seems like he was dealing with two. Because his mother was also racist to an extent. She was also racist to an extent, but not to the extent that Varg would become and that his father was. Like, I'm sorry to say this, but Varg's dad was a piece of shit. I'm sorry, he was. Because how are you gonna look down on someone and mock someone because they're African American? Like, what? I understand he's not Norwegian. Does it really fucking matter what fucking race he is? Does it really matter at this point? Cause personally, I don't think it fucking does. Alright, I don't think it fucking does. And I'm not gonna be tripping, cause shit. They should know better. And people are talking about, like, oh, but he was able to kill Euronymous. Here's the thing. I'm sorry to say this, but when Euronymous was alive, Euronymous was high key a pussy. Like, real shit. He was high key a pussy. Cause shit, I don't blame him. Like, shit. If I was Varg, I don't think I would have killed him, but I would have probably beat the living shit out of him at least. I don't know if I would kill him, but I would probably beat him within an inch of his life at least. Cause he was a pussy. He was a coward. I'm sorry. It's true. Like people dick ride Euronymous, but Euronymous was not who people were saying he was. Cause if he wanted Varg dead so bad, why? What? If he wanted Varg dead so bad, why? He didn't. It seemed like he didn't even attempt to do it. And if he was gonna attempt it, he definitely didn't do it by himself. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Like, Uranus, like, RIP to him, but when he was alive, that nigga was not really about it for real. Let's be honest. He wasn't really about it for real. He was just doing that so he could try to fearmonger. And like, I don't even get mad. I don't even really get upset when people underestimate me. Cause it's like, oh, that's what you think. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
They busted me on the fucking tear gas. Didn't find the drugs, of course. So, I had to say yes, I had the tear gas. And, I gotta pay a fine. Big deal. I haven't dropped my pants. They really were hoping for the big bust. Funny thing, you know, they always wear these intimidating gloves, so like you're gonna supposed to fess up before they start looking at your ass, but they don't look at your ass.
Yeah.
It's a trick.
Hmm. Well, in that case, I've been like, oh, you want to put your fingers up my butt? You might as well put your dick up there too, huh? Oh my god. Like I ain't gonna lie, I've been wanting penis lately. I could get some, but my only obstacle is that Chloe's in the way. So if I want to feel something similar, just gotta like put a dildo on my ass or something. I don't know.
Norway, it's beautiful. It's like New Zealand, only just grimmer. Norwegian personalities. You stand in line
How are
for the
you?
bus. You don't stand too close.
Fine? Better?
Better, yeah.
Keep a couple of meters away from the next guy. I think that says it all.
Your brother's head hurts.
Yeah. Well,
They said everything's okay, but they couldn't do anything serious because it wasn't like serious. But they said if it happens again, then come back like, and they'll do something.
yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, of course, that shit fucked up me a little bit because shit, at the time, I was streaming and I watched that happen in real time. Like, shit.
Meds. Oh, here's the meds.
You're gonna give medicine to people. And now saying people, oh, medicine. That's amazing. And people are eating this trash chemical all the time, you know. Sleeping pills and all this. It's like a chemical lobotomy, you know. Yeah, хорошо.
I just started going really musically and direct my interest into more and more music. And he was more into politics, so we sort of took different paths. So just the contact just faded into obscurity.
The thing that made this music different was that we rebelled against traditional song structure.
But still, you know, he made an incredible impact with his early albums. I'm eternally grateful for that.
I wanted the music to be more like epic or a storytelling.
He just recorded like basically everything in himself. He was right on the money. Changed the right notes out. That was the shit, man.
And that is what made this new, so-called new music style different. Because that is what the Dark Throne did. That is what Bürzen did. And we were like the first who did this in this period.
It's been years since we had contact. I tried to send him some music, but it wasn't what he was searching for. He was searching for some music and he could really explain what it had been, so I just gave up on it.
I'm kind of like a, you know, what's it called, ambivalent. I have a ambivalent feeling in this context because, in one sense, of course, it's hard to have to be without freedom to move wherever I want and stuff like that. But in another sense, it's kind of positive because I have the opportunity to like read books and focus on more important things. It's like I consider it like a
The doctor said that it couldn't be because he was dehydrated, but he drinks water all the time. What are you watching?
Until the Light Takes Us.
Oh.
The Black Circle was a name invented by journalists that was a few young people who at the end commit pretty serious crimes.
in our contemporary society, youth are pretty much lost. They have no direction. Nobody is telling them what to do. That is, people are telling them what to do, but the youth have an instinct telling them this is wrong. You know, people are telling them that Christianity is good. People are telling them that the USA is good, NATO is good, our democracy is good. But we know, if not intellectually, we know instinctively that this is wrong.
Yeah, that shit. Yeah, that shit is ass. Cause I told y'all, I told y'all, audience members, I told y'all. Oh, this shit looks like.
We recorded the first Black Metal album on the Racing Skies. Sent it to Peaceville, and they were like, "You're remixing this. What the hell are you guys doing? This is black metal. This is what black metal's supposed to sound. It's like all cold. It's cold right now. I said, I'm not remixing the album. This is what black metal sounds like. And if you don't want it, then just make your own
How does this?
songs that BlackSouls's.
Yeah, yo, I just hope I can finish
And then
this.
Peaceful said, no, we can't have that because we will lose face if a new band in our stall is leaving us. So we better just fucking release it, you know? And now they're really happy.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, yo. That's what I was getting frustrated about yesterday when it came to like this stream and stuff. Cause I just felt like there was too many distractions and too much noise, to where y'all couldn't really hear like the audio of this movie. Cause I'm actually allowed to like have y'all hear the audio. I'm just not allowed to show the video because the material is copyrighted.
Not that, like money-wise. We just went with our hearts and we thought we were going to sell like maybe 1,500 copies of that place in Orange Sky. We thought people would react the same way Peaceful did. Basically, we knew that there was just a few people listening to and being black metal. But people picked up on it, and that's one of the albums now that it's a classic in its time, so it still sells a lot. 10 years down the line.
When I recorded my album, I told the producer, give me the worst microphone you have. We set up the drums, we didn't do anything to make the sound any particular special. 10 minutes, everything was ready, And he was, that you don't do anything, you always have to, adjust the sound of the drums. No, because it was like a rebellion against this good production. So call it metal sound, or corpse sound, because it's supposed to sound the world's possible. So actually, I ended up with a headset as a microphone. That was the worst we could find. And used that as a microphone. So, and we used this tiny Marshall amplifier. It was this big because that was the worst amplifier we could find. It was terrible sound.
We had like an album cover with our guitarist and EUE shot art with the corpse paint on it, and at that time, every death metal album, every thrash metal album, basically had painted cover, cover art. And people hadn't seen like photos. Well, underground knew that Mayhem used corpse paint shit, but people in general looking through the vinyls and CD racks, they were just like, "What the hell is this? A blast from the past? This is cold."
But I ain't gonna lie, one thing I don't like about this documentary is that I'd be having to keep on turning it up and down. Well, if I'm doing it on the TV, that is. If I'm doing it, like, for example, if I had the headphones plugged in, I could pretty much have it at fucking full blast. I just have to keep on turning it up and down.
Magic for me still is the Death Crush album.
Yeah, Death Crush is a good ass fucking EP.
They released the
Death Crush is actually one out of the two bodies of work by Mayhem that I actually like. Well, I haven't heard the other shit. Yeah, I haven't heard the other shit. I haven't heard the fucking I haven't heard the I haven't heard the Dawn of the Blackhearts album, but I have a feeling that that shit's gonna suck.
Crush, and they just lived on reputation only in the late 80s. Mayhem started out in 84, I guess, around there. And it was the only Norwegian band, so it's sort of special for us. I went to rehearsals like awestruck back, and we did show, and they were showing up in 89, which is legendary. Black metal riff. It sort of derived from Bathory, but it was a new way of playing a riff that was really not being done and not being stylized by anyone before. That's what Jonas did. We have a chord. You don't play 1-1, you play 1-1. Up and down, and you have the notes cling together so that you have the fucking eerie notes and they all string together. And it's incredible eerie sound. Like, sends fucking chills down your spine.
I started in Mayhem in March 1988. When I first met Jordan, I gave him like a demo tape of me playing the drums. And we listened to it maybe 5 minutes, and he heard it was like double bass and blast beats in there, and then it was like, yeah, okay, we're in the band. The next day I actually moved to their locations, which was like 30 minutes outside of Oslo. I met the other guys. I met Decoration. And of course, I met Dead, which was a Swedish guy. Dead was a stage name. That was the first singer with black metal to come up with this corpse paint kind of thing. It was also important because we paved the way for this brutal behavior on stage with killing himself and being a personality on stage instead of just standing there with jeans and a t-shirt and nothing much else going on. I mean, it was a showman, absolutely. So it was very important for the black metal scene as well as his lyrics. Very important.
I never had a chance to see Mayhem with Dead, but Demonos did. We can say something about it.
I saw Mayhem in Oslo with Dead. He had makeup. That was the first show I saw ever with makeup.
And didn't they carry Dead in the coffin?
No, they didn't. They were supposed to do that.
They were supposed to do that, yeah.
So we were waiting for that. It didn't happen. And he had this sacrifice knife, which he was cutting himself with. And it was a good show.
When it's cold, when it's dark, the freezing moon can obsess you.
It was extremely
Dark, the freezing moon can obsess you.
It was extremely depressed. Just dreaming of Transylvania, vampires, and all this gothic imagery, and it's an escape, just like computer games and role-playing games. And that was his escape.
Come on! Leipzig! Come on! Join us! Pure fucking Armageddon!
We agreed that I should send him some ammo for his shotgun. He didn't have any ammo, and I did when I came back home, and a month later he shot himself. Many people speculate that Osset himself killed that Pauline. One of the many rumors in this movement. There are a lot of rumors, and I don't think that's true, simply because he was out of town when it happened. And when he came back home, he didn't have a key. They only had a couple of keys to the house, and he didn't have it. So he had to crawl in an open window. And when he crawled in, he found dead in the bed, and with his brains blown out, literally. He shot himself in the forehead. The brain had fallen out from his skull. It was grotesque. And the first thing he did was not to call the cops. It was, where's my photo equipment?
You were almost very eager to get me to, expose the film, which I did later. Yeah, I mean, that was like, oh, it's a shame that they did, but I got pictures taken. So.
Born in Bergen in 1973. I grew up in an idyllic society, really homogeneous, no crime. Everything was basically perfect. We had stables with girls riding horses. We were playing on the outside. There were no problems. So, but at a certain point, when we grew older, of course, there were problems, but we didn't see them. That's basically the truth. But when you grow older, you start to see that things isn't the way you want it to be. McDonald's didn't appear until 91 or 92. And when it did, we actually took a rifle and a bicycle. I mean, bicycles, we rode our bikes up to McDonald's, and we sat down and started to fire on the windows, you know. We're sneaking up, you know, shooting at McDonald's. We stockpiled weapons to munitions to prepare for war, because we not only suspected there might be a third world war, we hoped that there would be a third world war. Not because we enjoyed destruction so much, but because we knew that if you want to build something new, you have to destroy the old first. The ballad album of Mozart. Oh! Testament, the Ritual! The cool album. This place has a cool story to it when it comes to Darktron, because well, let's get out on the fire. It was a question of getting like a dictaphone or something to record riffs, because me and Ted, we had like, of course, you know, we recorded rehearsals on this fucking tape deck, and that broke down. Well, so I'm sitting here in Oslo, and I'm thinking, well, I probably should get a dictaphone. And then I get in touch with Sigurd, and he says, well, I can get you this fucker for 2,000. It's got like 4 tracks, it's digital and everything, and I'm saying, I'll hold it, you know. I was thinking more along the lines of a little to get the riffs in. But then I come here, you know, and I find this whole tape deck. It can't even play out, but it can record. I bought it for 50 kroner. Fucking sweet.
I refuse to stand a court-martial for making this whole underground movement into
Okay, we got to that.
It's sort of stigmatizing to talk about heritage and all this. I mean, for most of the European countries, I mean, Christianity is more or less erased our original cultures anyway.
There's more chaos, war, pollution now than ever before in our recorded history. Of course, we might have known a period with even worse conditions, but Christians burned all the records that could tell us about it anyway. Like in the Library of Alexandria. Whenever the Catholics or Protestants or the Christians came, they destroyed the culture. They ruined the culture. They burned the culture. And they burned the records of these cultures. That includes the European cultures. That includes African cultures, Asian cultures, American cultures. Wherever they were, they destroyed everything. They want to replace our culture with Americanization, with the Judeo-Christian cultures. Christianity is the root to all problems in the modern world. It's hard to know what to do to oppose something. because dissident voices are not tolerated in contemporary society.
I think it's to a big extent nauseating, to see, the beauty of specific cultures, being contaminated by the not so beautiful facets of other cultures. At the same time, I think it's a process of it's a step on the way to returning to some sort of primeval source.
Everybody can relate to Odin and Thor and Freya in Norway because it's our religion. We are not Christian. Christianity. Everybody can relate to Odin and Thor and Freya in Norway because it's our religion. We are not Christian. Christianity is a Jewish religion. Christianity was originally a Jewish sect. Baptism is all about a symbolic ritual murder of the non-Jewish, of the Gentile. That they murder the Gentile child, and then they call the Jewish name that's supposed to replace the pagan soul.
They got me again.
Originally, the place was an old pagan holy site. It was top of a hill where our forefathers used to celebrate the sun. What the Christians did was to move this church from another place and put it not close to this holy site, but on top of it, in the midst of the circle, actually breaking up the circle. And on the pagan folk, they put a big stone cross. So they have no respect for the Norwegian culture. Why on earth should Norwegians respect their culture?
By burning the churches, some people felt it was like taking back land from the Middle Eastern plague, as many people call it, and it was no worse made now than it was in the year 900.
The intended result was to give people a shock, to make them open their eyes. It's like you will detonate a bomb, they will open their eyes for a moment, you know? What happened?
It was Warren who first set fire to a church, but there were a lot of church burnings in, I guess, so 92, 93.
er trafikk oppover hele veien?
Nei, det er bare opp til motorvei.
Det er bare opp til motoren?
Ja.
Ok.
Da er det
Jeg skal ikke fly 4:30, skjønner du.
5 om en time. Jeg tror det går bra.
Jeg tror det er bra.
Men det er bare til
My least favorite artist is from Central America. It is the woman who paints, or the women with very strong eyebrows. She's way political, and I know for a fact that Nicaragua, for instance, I mean the artists were persecuted, and they always painted like it's really close to nature, things with strong colors. I mean, it's the perfect disease of being repressed. I mean, you want everything to be shiny. No, I like I'm more like the wealthy and troubled art. Comes from the exhaustion of easy life. It surprised me a little bit when I felt the not friction, but the panic that people had against modern art, and that's just something that they threw on the canvas mind frame. And again, I'm not a shrink, I don't know why I reacted to that, but I was like, what the hell's wrong with it? Because I grew up, it's my parents too, they were always like that. And they were going like, call a spade, and ordeal. So maybe. So the way they raised me, and everyone wants to be against their parents. I've never felt that. I needed that, but I guess I didn't realize it. But that's the way I came to like modern art. My parents being very conservative, and they wanted the as we call it in Norway, the moose in the sunset. So painting. Well, at least that's the moose in the sunset. I know what the hell that means.
Daglig ankommer Stockholm om 10 minutter.
That's crazy that they have a black metal museum. That's crazy. And you can actually go on tours to explore black metal history.
It's not like I don't see these. It's not like I don't see these images every fucking day. I know the location of that because I've been there, you know, it's like from where I'm from.
Is it what? Please use with your work like that. That's truly insane.
Yo.
It's just on a big decaf on this guy from now. Thought maybe it would just be a piece of paper with his name, nothing on the back. Just here's my name. How do you like that? Can I have a glass of water? I fucking need it. Nej, kanske jag ska egentligen that's No more questions, guys. Even I'm starting to feel like I haven't spoken now.
Fantoft stavkirke i Bergen brenner nesten ned til grunn. Bergen politikammer mener brannen er påsatt.
We weren't involved in any of those activities with church burning and stuff. We knew about it, and we thought it was quite entertaining.
Okay, now we're getting into stuff I haven't seen, cause like from last night I've seen like the first 45 minutes of this, but I had to go back and watch it again. The reason why is because today it seems like there's not really much noise.
I just go down like most of churches, and you was supposed to be a leader, didn't do anything like this, and I think you almost had to like stand up for himself.
To us, that everything was about image, and he wanted to appear extreme. He wanted people to think of him as being extreme. the most extreme of them all. But he didn't want to be extreme, and he wasn't really extreme. He gave people the impression that he was organizing all of it. That was what he wanted it to look like. He started to talk about this black metal mafia, this mob, and he wanted to look as if he was some godfather of some organization. I pointed at the fact that, hey, he sure has a big mouth, but is he doing anything? You know? And the others would think, well, actually he doesn't. So, you know.
I think that Mark kind of put him in the corner and said something like, well, if you're not against it, why would you join us doing it? And so, Paul Golden Church burned out. It was like Mark getting lost.
I was frustrated when I realized that this movement was still the same bunch of brain-dead metalheads, and I wanted to do something about it. So I tried to force them into taking another stand by giving an interview to a newspaper. I told them that we were behind the church burnings and all that. I told them I could tell them that because, of course, I had not done anything. And of course, he changed everything, and instead of printing what I told him, he went to the police and got me arrested.
It really started pretty big was when Mark admitted in the papers that he actually set fire to the church.
He was making a very brutal image of himself, saying that him and his friends had been doing the burnings and one of his friends were responsible for a murder. The article made a lot of hassle.
And then he printed his interpretation of what I said in the newspaper. I could not do anything about it. I was in prison. And of course, all the other journalists interviewed him while I was in prison, and I couldn't say anything about it. So his version was like the truth. Everybody copied it. You know? The police claims that I made others burn churches. That is, I accompanied them and like, come on, you know, the church.
TV stations and papers didn't know they could connect it to an existing scene. They first thought this is one guy. It became evident pretty fast they will connect it to the shop on Journalist. A lot of people who have been involved with the crimes thought this is going too far. Up until then, the cops didn't have any evidence against any of us.
Were you worried about your friends getting in trouble?
No, we were zoning at the time. I didn't worry about anything, basically. I guess I wanted to set fire myself. Never went that far, you know. But no, I mean, the only thing that was worrying is when it was all over the news. And then we had something to worry about.
Søndag. Repheim kirke i Stavanger blir totalskadd i brann. Også denne brannen er påsatt. Politiet finner tegn som kan tyde på satanistisk virksomhet på begge steder.
Adventistkirken på Jeløya ved Moss ble påtent ved 4-tiden i natt. Politiet utelukker ikke at det er personer med tilknytning til det satanistiske miljøet som står bak ildspåsettelsen.
I wanted it to be, but it sure changed a lot. It started to pretend that there was some satanic movement and conspiracy in the society, that the people who burned the churches were really Satanists who planned to spread evil, all this crap. And when I got out of prison, there was nothing I could do about it. I told them this has nothing to do with Satanism, and they never paid any attention to what I said. Even Osset was never a Satanist. Nobody was Satanist. But this was all about demonizing a movement. They wanted us to be Satanists.
The big mainstream English metal magazine did a 6-page article on the Norwegian black metal scene in March '93. It had Emperor and White Weakness on the cover. This was a very brutal article in all aspects. There was a lot of very hateful statements. I think that up until now this is the single most important event in the history of modern black metal. This is the reason a lot of people got into this kind of music, and a lot of media like magazines, TV, radio and such got an understanding that this might be.
Oh, they got that album in Pale Nazarene. I actually listened to that album. I actually listened to that album. I actually listened to it. I thought it was quite good. The only thing that bothered me is that with that album was talking. The only thing that bothered me about the album is the fact that the band that Impale Nazarene, they were talking quite a bit about rape in their lyrics. That's like the only thing that bothered me about that. But other than that, it was a good album.
Yeah, the moment the newspaper started writing about it was imitated. The problem was really that this misinterpretation made up the foundation of a completely different, 15-year-old copycats building churches and spraying these satanic symbols on the churches because they thought that was what it was all about. And, that was all it was. And that was the result of media coverage.
Movement, small, pinpoint things we had in mind got blown into this big trend, big following thing. I guess the sales of black lipstick went through the roof.
That sounds like some glitchcore type shit.
I like this shooting. This is also not bad where you stance like this, you see the neighbors. It is also kind of good when it goes in and out of the frame. This is good, this is only. This is give in the forest, no? Can I slow it down?
I think visually the best one will be Gunnar from Darkthrone. Because I think he has this visually the best look. He would never do it.
There's no way I would have knew that sacrifice created paradise. Like, we're taught out here that you're winning when you can eat whatever you want, buy whatever you want, do whatever you want. There's no way I'm gonna stumble across like that stoic
Hey, it's Feathers.
Hi.
Hi. What's up? You having a great Friday?
Yes, a little crazy because it was
I actually like Fenritz. Fenritz is a nice guy.
okay.
I'd like to meet him. He's a nice
I
guy.
heard that in your private life, what is truly quite a shock for a lot of Darkthrone fans, you're into house and techno music. Is it true?
Oh, sure. I was just listening to a mix CD from Monica Kruse last night. You should know Monica Kruse. She's been in the German techno scene for a long time. We in Oslo, we are not secluding. We usually know about a whole lot of different sorts of styles of music. We're not fucking living in a trailer camp just listening to Anthrax, if you know what I'm saying. So we like a lot of different music. But I guess I'm the first one who started to say like a lot of different music. But the first one who really went out and said all that shit was Euronymous himself. He was always into electronic music. And he said it. He even had Conrad Snipsler do the fucking intro for Death Crush album. Yeah.
Well, what I want to say is that I hope that you do not have the intention to bring out a house album.
No, that's the whole thing, you know. In Darkthrone we're listening to so many other styles of music, but we will not let that enter into the Darkthrone concept. It is not Darkthrone, then we shall not be influenced by it, but we can listen to it. Other people, they hear 2 electronic albums they like, and they suddenly go like, oh, maybe I can put this in the middle, maybe that will be cool. Hey, that's not Darkthrone, man, but I know a whole lot of people that's been doing that.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why that is because Darkthrone ain't avant-garde. They're not avant-garde. They may be experimental, but they're not avant-garde. They're not doing what Psy does. Respectfully, they're not doing what Psy does, respectfully. Or Arcturus. They're not doing what they do, respectfully. They make more like symphonic, like, make more like symphonic, atmospheric black metal. They don't do avant-garde. Avant-garde is what Psy does, where they add like a whole bunch of just random shit, but it somehow works because it has good tempo, it has rhythm, and it oddly goes with the other instruments like the guitars, the drums, the bass, the vocals, and stuff like that. It actually goes quite well together.
For me, I have the impression when I read your interviews and also when I listen to your lyrics that you now became a little less provocative than you were maybe 8 or 9 years ago.
Wow, you think so? That is so interesting because
If you're hungry, you can have some eggs. Scrambled eggs.
Hell yeah.
I need enough from all 3 of us.
outside next year. Is it cold out there? Is it cold out there?
Oh no, I haven't been outside. You want the rest of these eggs, baby?
I'm good. I already had it. Before that, I had yogurt. I'm good.
You want these rest of these eggs, Michael?
Yeah. Not too bad. Thank you.
You're welcome. I figured I made scrambled eggs for him and me, and then I I almost used half of the eggs, but I stopped because you probably like making eggs too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you put hot sauce in there?
No.
Oh.
You just gave me an idea, though. You just gave me an idea, though.
I'm gonna crack it. If you feel cold air, it's because I cracked the door because he's not supposed to be alone by himself.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome.
The door's not shut all the way.
But don't worry, y'all. Those dishes will get done. I just gotta eat and finish this movie and shit, and then I'll go do them.
Your breath smells like smoke. I should call Kevin.
Yeah. It's understandable that smells like smoke. That's what happens when you smoke cigarettes and shit.
Yeah. How are you doing? I'm just letting you know after my mom gets off of work, she's coming to take me in person.
Okay.
Yeah, she called
I think
me.
like 8 years ago, I didn't really do like provoking shit. I did because Christian people were not going to read my lyrics, right? So they're not going to be provocative.
Yeah.
What I wrote then was, I see now in hindsight, I see that this is what people that were into occult or obscure and anti-Christian things, that was the sort of lyrics they wanted to read. It may be giving them strength, but it was also sort of fiction and maybe a creative outlet for my fucking head. What I've been doing for the last 2 albums is what should drive people to suicide, and it's really taking out the strength, right?
Well,
because you can't really get strength
I should have videoed it.
from the lyrics in the last 2 hours. Well, you probably could
You didn't
do an
know
album
that
with
it was
the
gonna
bass
happen,
lyrics
and
gone.
I didn't know it was
So I'm
gonna
thinking,
happen
I'm really
either,
just
because,
pleasing, and
he
I'm
was sitting
I'm
in
caressing the dog
a
with its
chair,
hairs,
playing his
as we
game,
speak, the
and then,
dogs being the fans or
he
whatever,
went
listening to the
he
album.
went and told
I'm
his
just,
mom that we're gonna be working with you guys.
turns out I was
and she's
writing
like,
just what they
okay.
wanted,
And then
okay?
he
And
came
now I'm
back,
writing what no one wants,
he
because
was
that is to
sleeping
be
on
really
and I
fucking
asked him if
depressed,
he was
if you
okay.
really
He's like,
understand it,
yeah,
and
I'm
then
fine.
going to take
And
your
then
fucking
the next
life.
thing you know, he went.
At least I do,
Actually,
because I'm looking at my lyrics
so
for the
I
last
was
2 albums,
showing you
and I'm
in the
seeing
bathroom.
my fucking
He
world
was
now.
texting you, and then he looked up and
Okay.
saw something in the corner.
Thanks for your time.
Followed it with his
Oh, have a
with his
beautiful
head,
evening. Alright.
and then
See you later. Hey, hey. Well down, want to go.
I asked him if he saw his dad when he followed it. He's like, no. And then I asked him if he saw one of his demons. He said no. Yeah. I guess before the doctor, he's been
Jeg så ikke, så så jeg
a couple days.
den der
A couple days.
plakaten på det nye albumet.
He's been feeling lightheaded for a while, and he won't tell me anything because one, his father did that too. He's a man.
Jeg tror den ser man fint på Blacksmith.
Det var liksom sånn
Like his dad.
deg i forskjellige sånne dimensjoner. Noe sånn litt sånn
That's what my brother wants.
greier.
I chose the name Frost when I entered Cecilcon and became a member of the band. I wanted a name that I could identify with as a black metal artist. And I wanted it to be like a purification of that side of me that was into the darkness and the grimness and the coldness of black metal. It's an alter ego.
Yeah. One lives in Georgia.
Helps me getting more focused,
The other lives somewhere
and
else.
also it adds to the totality of darkness and grimness that we do create with our music. The obscurity in black metal is part of the darkness that we are trying to create. It goes like very much hand in hand with that darkness.
That I was gonna go to
And
jail
then I'm talking about darkness with a capital D then, if you understand what I mean.
I faked a pregnancy faked a pregnancy ultrasound, which I didn't. I just
Well,
looked it up.
if someone running
Looked it up on Google and sent it to her.
a big art.
Alright, audience, I'll be back. Hold on.
Huh? You look them on Google. I know. And she said that I'm going to jail because I faked a pregnancy. I faked a pregnancy. And I said I can't go to jail because you're in a different state and I'm here. And she was like, I already screenshotted everything and sent them to my police, and she said that I have your local police. I have your local PD. He's sitting in my recliner on his phone. Yeah. Yeah, he's looking fine. Babe, are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he had a yogurt and then I made him scrambled eggs too. Well, here, I'll put you on speaker so you can tell him. Are you gonna tell him, Kevin? Oh, bye. Let me get closer.
When you start not feeling right, you can tell your mom or me or.
Yeah. Well, that's what I told Leah. I told her I wasn't feeling right. Remember, Leah?
Once you let us know, we'll figure out what to do.
Yeah, remember because you asked me you asked me if I was alright, and I'm like, and I'll say my head hurt and I was lightheaded.
Mm-hmm.
And I also told you there's days where my legs feel like they're gonna give out.
Yeah, you don't want your legs giving out. That's
Yeah.
when you get paralyzed. And you're just gonna have to do nothing but lay down and get your little boners without your legs moving.
Hopefully I can still feel it from the waist down.
I'm sorry, my legs don't move. Really? What's wrong in between them then if your legs don't move? That's my last leg.
Shark leg.
Yeah, because he was literally standing where this bucket was, and I was literally where he's sitting. And I asked him if he was okay. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. And then the next thing you know, he went back. I'm like, babe! And then his mom's like, what the hell was that? I'm like, come here, hurry!
I thought I was okay because I didn't know what was going on.
You were still out of it when your mom was trying to talk to you.
Yeah. All I remember is coming back into reality when I was on the stretcher and I was being took to the medical.
Oh shit. I'm back here.
Magazine, and I want to use my picture. That's kind of flattering, so I wouldn't feel it should be necessary for them to ask me first if they are allowed to do it, because it's somehow presented in a neutral way. It couldn't be connected to something that I do not like or do not want to be connected to.
I think I'm obsessed with like this Norwegian black metal band. So my new show is like just dedicated to black metal. It's just like pure like Muslim music. It's like pure death. It's like pure like it's like hits you death. It's most commercial music. I went to Norway where all the guys burned the churches down and murdered each other and like in prison making music. I like visited like Hieronymus' grave and death. Because I love black metal, the most extreme.
Look at that. That purple juice. Yes. Well, it kind of looks like juice. Kind of. This man just showed me his nipples. What the fuck? That nigga just showed me his nipples. What the fuck is happening? What the fuck was that?
We have youngsters running up here and says of how I want to try for this in this church. And we were just like, okay, do that. So I come back and tell him about the kind of stuff.
They were confirming the media's version and making all of it even worse. The media was interpreting. I said, hey, you're wrong. And then these guys sort of confirmed that, no, we're right. Look at these guys. How can you stand for this crap? You know, it's impossible. And at this point, I was starting to become a problem in this scene.
You were also saying, like, what did we last guy? And what was saying, was like, well, whatever. I mean, just handle it yourself.
And he was planning to kidnap me. He was planning to knock me out with an electroshock pistol, like the type the security guards carry, and tie me up, take me into the forest, and make a snuff film while torturing me to death. And of course, I took it serious. Apart from that, if you just were talking about it, like in the shop to everybody and anybody, I wouldn't have taken it serious. But he didn't. He just told, a select group of friends. And one of them, told me. And later on, he wrote a letter to me, as if we were friends, which of course confirmed my suspicion that he had some plans. Why did he suddenly want to be friends? Of course, to have an excuse to, get close to me without waking any suspicion. The only reason he had to contact me was a contract between Bursum and his label. So he sent me the contracts and wanted me to sign them. And he wanted to meet when we were signing them. Okay? I know, there's no reason to wait. Let's just go to Oslo and get done with it. So I drove to Oslo. But of course, it takes some time to get to Oslo.
I'm wearing a hat.
It's 500
because it's Windy City. This is a Chicago Bulls logo. And Chicago is in Illinois, and I grew up and I still live in Illinois. That's why I have this hat. I also have other Chicago Bulls themed things. I have a Chicago Bulls jacket.
I get my link in 5 days, so we could get them again.
Fuck. I have a Chicago Bulls jacket. And right here it says Chicago Bulls and it has the Chicago Bulls logo. Like, this shit is stitched on there with a sewing kit. I didn't sew it myself, it was pre-sewed. When my mom got it for me, it was pre-sewed. The shit was already sewed.
I like strawberry steak.
I'm pretty sure I haven't taken a dump today, at least not yet. I haven't taken a dump today at least not yet.
Okay. Okay.
Cause I just didn't need to take one.
Okay. Bye.
I don't know when I will eat soup. I mean, shit. We had like this tomato and basil soup, but pretty much all of it's expired. So that's just probably gonna have to get thrown out.
It took some time to reach.
I was gonna have some soup, but I just never got around to it. And then one day my sister showed me like when it expired, and that shit expired like 4 months ago.
We were there at 3 o'clock or maybe 4 o'clock.
So he was sleeping. I told him, well, I don't care if you're sleeping.
All
just
this shit
open the
expired
door.
like
And he opened
around
the
4
door,
months ago, is what I said.
which is rather strange, really. You know, he just opened the door. And even though he had plans to kill me, and when he had this beeper, you know, and when I got up in the apartment, he panicked.
Of course he would panic.
You know, he probably, you know,
Because he knew he fucked up.
I was aggressive, you know, so he panicked. He attacked me, he kicked me in the chest, I just threw him to the ground. A bit stunned, really, because, you know, he attacked me, you know. I didn't expect it at the time. And I was stunned for a while. He was just sitting on the floor, and suddenly he got up, trying to get his knife in the kitchen. And I thought, well, if he's going to have a knife, I'm going to have a knife. So I had a pocket knife, this small pocket knife, and got it up and prevented him from getting into the kitchen, you know, so he didn't manage to get his knife. And then he started off against.
Actually, I don't have The Last of Us remastered, but I'm pretty sure my brother did because I saw it in his library.
As well as electroshock pistol.
Because I had to go.
Which turned out later on he didn't have.
Because I had to go on his account so I could download FNAF 1. Because that's where I had FNAF 1. Because before I got my PS4, me and him actually shared the PS4. It's a whole thing. But yeah. I would have to install it though. I don't know how much space I have though. Let me check. I have 114 gigs of free space.
Any of these things in the bedroom. I believed it at the time. And that is the reason I followed him. And instead of going into the bedroom, he just left the building, really. He just started to run down the stairs. And I followed him and managed to stop him. And of course, I had a friend with me, actually the guitarist of Mayhem. And of course, he was rather shocked. And I waited, because I didn't know how he was going to write. You know, he was the guitarist in Mayhem. So for all I knew, he could attack me as well. Maybe they planned it, you know. Get a bit paranoid in situations like that. So I just waited for what's going to happen. I just waited. Also was on the floor. He broke a lamp on the wall, so he was swimming in glass fragments with only his underwear, so he was rather bloody. And this other guy just ran past me. And of course, I understood that he's not a part of it. So I asked him, are you okay? And he just ran off. And then I remember that he had my car keys. And I had blood all over myself, and Osset got up and attacked me again. So I finished Osset off. I just, what do you say, stabbed him in the skull, so he died immediately. And I followed the other guy. He ran to the car. So I managed to calm him down. You know, he gave me the car keys, I opened the car. You know, and we drove back. You know.
I will play The Last of Us Remastered. I'll play it at some point. I probably won't do it today because I'm already streaming.
I wouldn't speak negatively about him in the sense of speaking negatively about others. He never said that he was going to do anything, and he never did anything. But that's another good thing, isn't it? It's worse when you say you're going to do it and you don't. You know, Gilbert is, as I said, is a special person with special goals, and it's impossible to know what his goals are. He successful knows what he's doing, and I guess he's happy with it.
Okay, it's Wednesday. So, Cause like some I do now is every Thursday I go on and shit, like probably like a 1 to 2 hour walk, probably somewhere around there. Just just walk around outside. But it's only Wednesday, so it's not time yet. I would have to wait till tomorrow.
He was literally on the computer and he was all over the place. He didn't know what to do. Like when the EMT came, he was literally like standing in the way of them, and I told him, I said, "Can you please go to your computer desk?" I wasn't being mean. If you want, you can lay down and I can raise you up until my mom gets off.
We did not think it was Count Grishnak, so we were looking out. We were looking up. We were watching our backs. I thought, what the hell can I do for Euronymous? He's dead. I dedicated the Blazing Arms High album to him, Who can I support now? Well, this guy's still alive. He's like muffled in jail.
Damn, this nigga, This nigga Genritz, this man loves fucking Marlboro Reds. He loves Marlboro Reds.
Statsadvokaten i Eidsivating tok I dag ut tiltale I en av fjorårets mest omtalte kriminalsaker. Den 21 år gamle satandyrkeren Varg Vikernes alias Greven har mye å svare for når rettssaken starter 18. april.
Varg Vikernes, også kalt Greven, ble sammen med sin 22 år gamle medtiltalte fra Trondheim kjent skyldig I overlagt drap I Eidsivating lagmannsrett I dag. Vikernes ble også funnet skyldig I 3 tilfeller av kirkebranner.
I dag tar kjennelsen skyldig I overlagt drap på kameraten Øystein Årsen. Skyldig I å ha antent Oldevollen kapell I Oslo, Skjold kirke I Rogaland, Åsane kirke og brannforsøk på Storetveit kirke, begge I Bergen. Men juryen fant ikke bevis for at musikeren Varg Vikernes stod bak brannherringen av Saltopp statskirke natt til 6. juni 1992.
Väldigt arrogant namn, det vill säga att det satte mig över alla andra människor. Gör det, så gör det.
Faust testified against me. He got a 14-year prison term.
Varg Vikernes, født 11.2.73, dømmes til en straff av fengsel I 21
When I got the sentence, I already knew that I was going to get 21 years. That's the maximum penalty in Norway. It's not much, but it's by American standards, but that's maximum in Norway. So the judge was really eager to, as if he was happy, 21 years, great, because he wanted to underline that we do not tolerate this type of rebellion in Norway.
And of course they were expecting me to be like wetting my pants or something. And it just made me smile really. I turned my hand to the audience, you could call it, and just smiled and From all what I gathered, they smiled back.
Mark always will be a great guy. Even though his views on everything are deemed like an abomination by Norway.
He fucked up. He's a very intelligent guy. He's a very talented guy, but he wanted to live differently from us. So we decided to burn these churches. It must have been one hell of a rush for him. But now he's in jail. And that must suck for him. But, you know, he has himself to thank for it.
It's very hard to recognize the truth when you are bombarded by lies all the time, every minute of the day. You have to go to sleep, and even in sleep, because you dream of the impressions you have during the day. You know, you're bombarded by commercials and completely senseless information every single day. If you turn on the TV, you're bombarded. If you turn your head in some direction, you see some sign, some commercial. You know, read magazines, newspapers, senseless information. The news are themselves products being sold. Everything is meaningless. Sure, the truth is out there. I know sound like some X-Files, but the truth is, of course, to be found. But in a sea of lies, it's just impossible to find it unless you know how to look, where to look, and when to look. And of course, it's not possible to just get up in the morning and just say, okay, I'm going to find the truth this day, and go find it. You have to try and fail, and eventually you will weed out all the lies, and you end up with something at least similar to the truth. The truth is hidden, under grass, under some rocks, in a hidden trail, a forgotten trail in the forest, And when you're trying to find these trails, you will stumble, you'll get some branches in your face, you'll make mistakes before you finally find it. So, how do you like the prison? It's very hard to recognize the truth when you are bombarded by lies all the time, every minute of the day. You have to go to sleep, and even in sleep, because you dream of the impressions you have during the day. You're bombarded by commercials and completely senseless information every single day. If you turn on the TV, you're bombarded. If you turn your head in some direction, you see some sign, some commercial. Read magazines, newspapers, senseless information. The news are themselves products being sold. Everything is meaningless. Sure, the truth is out there. I know sound like some X-Files, but the truth is, of course, to be found. But in a sea of lies, it's just impossible to find it unless you know how to look, where to look, and when to look. And of course, it's not possible to just get up in the morning and just say, okay, I'm going to find the truth this day, and
try and fail, and eventually you will weed out all the lies, and you end up with something at least similar to the truth. The truth is hidden, under grass, under some rocks.
Where is money? It's in my wallet.
And when you
Why
try
are you asking where is money? You should know where money is. Well, I mean,
branches.
money can be stored in a lot of places, but it's usually stored in a wallet somewhere.
So, how do you like the prison?
Alright, some eggs.
But the thing is, it's out there now. It's everyone's property. Like, for people who wants to do humor and whatever, it's out of our fucking hands. Black metal for me is still those secluded things that people are not the fuck interested in,
I'm interested in black metal.
So black metal is like
I've listened to quite
like
a
a
bit of
brand,
black metal.
Everyone can deal with it. If someone does it in a completely, disgusting way, I might just go like, damn it. But, what can I do? What's the point?
I kind of got interested for this project when Bjarne told me the destructivity that I was supposed to vibrate throughout the performance. So, of course, I wouldn't have been interested in the first place if that didn't seem fascinating to me.
That was like a little snack for me.
I wonder what Munch's paintings would be if he didn't feel the agony of living, or the easiness of being alive compared to the inevitable.
I want to play, after this, I want to play a couple of my favorite black metal songs.
problems being self-destructive if the whole thing is something that I like. I'll give them a sign if something goes wrong.
They're just watching this shit happen. That's crazy. He did this in front of an audience. This nigga slit his wrist and then he slit. Then he fucking made a little incision. Then he made like a little long, a thin, like a thin long incision into the side of his fucking neck.
This whole thing
Like what the fuck?
didn't turn into a trend.
That nigga wanted to die. That's what that was.
That's
He
what
wanted to
fucking
die.
sucked and sucks.
That's fucking insane.
Then again, you know, people like to dress up.
Now you like the transformation.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
They're clapping? Mm-hmm. I think yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna end it here. I did this early as fuck for a reason. I did this early as fuck. I did this early as fuck for a reason. I did this early as fuck for a reason. Because I wanted to do it before Cody woke up. Because, I mean, I love him to death, and I know it's not his fault, but he tends to be really noisy. And I normally don't have an issue. I normally didn't have a problem with that, but for this, I want y'all to hear the fucking audio of the movie, like, start to finish. Well, it was weird. I started from the 26-minute mark to like the 35-minute mark. And then I went back and watched the first 26 minutes of it. And then I just let it play from like the 35-minute mark all the way till the end of the fucking movie. There is something we could do though. There's something we could do. Okay. I know my thoughts about Until the Light Takes Us. I know my thoughts on it. But I want to see other people's thoughts. Wait, hold on. Deleted scenes.
Your band at that time was in front of like the U.S. black metal.
Yeah, we weren't trying to be first, but that's like kind of where we were positioned. Everybody back then had their own style of playing, and they don't now. So when people are like, we gotta capture this New York sound, that's so stupid. There shouldn't be a New York sound. What the hell is that even? That's like New York sound, or this is New Jersey sound, or California sound. Lame. If like, just join the church if you're gonna follow along. The whole like church burning thing in Norway, like that's what did it for them. And they were like, now we own the name black metal. And I was like, damn, these guys are good. Yeah. That's some marketing genius shit right there. Because
it is marketing.
It's like, for me, it's just like mid music with no bass and no attitude. It's very cold. The picking hand is not ballsy, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Somebody like Jeff Hanneman had like a hard, yeah. Yeah. If you don't have that, you may be a cool guy, but just don't bring it around me. You know what I mean?
Your band at that time was in front of like the U.S. black metal.
Yeah, we weren't trying to be first, but that's like kind of where we were positioned. Everybody back then had.
Well, Var can't really be talking about truths because he's had quite a bit of contradictions from when he started Bootsum until fucking until even now in 2026. Like he has quite the number of contradictions. And like quite the number of hypocrisies too. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, shit. If it wasn't for the racism and stuff, if it wasn't for the racism like the church burnings and stuff. Like, well, actually, I don't really care if he burned churches or that he murdered Euronymous. I wouldn't have really cared about that. Because, let's be honest, Euronymous kind of deserved it. Let's be honest. He kind of deserved it. In some sense. He kind of deserved it in some sense. But the church burning thing, I don't care about it because I don't... Because, shit. I hate Christianity. I don't hate it as a whole. I just hate what it turned into. I just hate what it turned into. The stuff I can't get on board with is the fact that he's racist and that he was a neo-Nazi at one point. Or still is. I just can't get jiggy with that kind of behavior. I just can't get jiggy with that. I don't think me and Var could get along anyways. I don't know. I don't think I would want to get along with him. Because honestly, if he tried to do that shit to me like he tried to do to Euronymous, he ain't gonna be as lucky. Because the thing is, I'm actually gonna fight back. I'm not gonna be like Euronymous who just let that shit happen to him. I'm actually gonna fight back. And if he gets the best of, if he would have gotten the best of me, he would have gotten the best of me. But if I would have gotten the best of him, I would have made it very painful and personal. But you know, that's like something I just can't look past. Cause I mean, shit, he could be a decent, alright guy. But the fact that he has racism and that he has hatred towards other races and like ethnicities and stuff like that, I just can't get jiggy with that. Just because your dad raised you that way, that's not an excuse to fucking treat people like that. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. Ooh. Fuck, I can't play it though, because it's only available on
Well, hello, my friends. How are you all doing? I'm doing very well. It is December the 8th of 2020. This video is about a review of this documentary right here. This is Until the Light Takes Us. Alright, so for those of you who aren't familiar with this documentary is about the Norwegian black metal scene, and it was released in 2008. Okay, so this film is about the Norwegian black metal scene, and more specifically the early Norwegian black metal scene that took place in the early to mid 1990s. There's a lot of discussion about the band Mayhem, and there's a lot of discussion about the tragic details that took place surrounding Mayhem. Some of these details include the murder of their original guitarist. Their original guitarist, his name was Euronymous. He was murdered by rival bandmate Varg Vikernes. Varg murdered him in August of 1993. There's also discussion of the suicide of their original vocalist. Their original vocalist, his name was Dead.
Cause let's be honest, not Varg, but Euronymous played a part in why Dead killed himself. He played a big part in that, cause he was pressuring him to actually do it. And then when he did it, he tried to act surprised and shit. When he knew damn well that he wasn't surprised. And like, not only did he push him to do that, but he also made Dead's life a living hell. And the thing is, I get it. Dead was not a saint. He was doing stuff like killing and torturing animals and stuff. But the thing is that Dead had a little more of an understandable excuse, if you would say. Euronymous. The thing is with Euronymous was trying to be something that he really wasn't. Yeah, he may have he may have he may have he may have made mayhem, like he may have founded it, but let's be honest, he wasn't about that shit for real. He wasn't even a Satanist. He was a Stalinist. And Varg, and people were trying to say Varg is a Satanist. He was never a Satanist. He just claimed to be a Satanist so he could fit in. What he actually was, he was actually into paganism, specifically European paganism. That's what he was doing.
Committed suicide sometime in 1991.
Varg was pagan.
And there's just a lot of interesting perspectives on the early days of Mayhem and how they all lived. Yeah, it's all very interesting. There's also a lot of discussion of Varg Vikernes. Varg is, of course, the sole member of the band Burzum. There's a lot of discussion about a lot of the criminal activities that he undertook, which include the murder of Euronymous, as well as several church burnings. Okay, there's also discussion of Faust. Faust was one of the original members of the band Emperor. He had murdered an individual sometime in 1992. All right, and there's just a lot of discussion about the early Norwegian black metal scene, which includes Helvete Record Shop. Helvete Record Shop was a record shop that was run by Euronymous, as well as other members of the Norwegian black metal scene. Okay, and there's also a lot.
I mean, I'm watching this because I've already seen it. Like, if y'all go back, y'all knew that I was watching that shit.
Scene, yeah, he's very interesting. There's also lots of interviews with Varg Vikernes. During the making of this documentary, Varg was still in prison at the time. This would have been close to the end of his prison sentence. Varg provides lots of interesting details on the Norwegian black metal scene, and as well as Norway in general. It's interesting to hear what he has to say. He's very interesting, that's for sure. All right, it's interesting to see him in prison as well. It's interesting to see the whole prison environment. Okay, and there's lots of other interviews also, which include members of Ulver, Immortal, Mayhem, and Satiricon. There's also an interesting part of this film where there's an art exhibit. This art exhibit had featured lots of black metal artifacts. Very interesting. And there's also a live art performance of Frost. Frost is best known as being one of the members of Satiricon in 1349. He provides this very interesting live art performance. Very intense. I definitely enjoyed watching that. All right, so that's basically my review of Until the Light Takes Us. Okay, so that is my review of Until the Light Takes Us. Yeah, so this is just a very, very interesting movie. I enjoyed so much. I've watched it numerous times. It's a very high quality film. I highly recommend it. If you haven't watched it, definitely.
I have.
Okay. All right. So I want to say thank you very much for watching, and I want to say thank you to all the people.
This is God.
Yeah, Gaul, aka the man that tortured two men almost to death. You love to see it. You love to see it, bro. Why are they dressed? The thing is, I don't understand about Dogma. Why are they dressed up in these skimpy ass, showing lots of skin, none ass outfits, bro? Like what? I mean, shit. I mean, me personally, I would want a fucking nun, and I would probably want to come in her asshole, but that's neither here or there. We ain't gonna talk about that, though. But Come on, y'all. Well, that's only if she were to let me. Cause I ain't gonna lie. There's nuns out there that are sexy as shit. There's nuns out there that are sexy as shit. I'm not talking about Mother Apollonia. She is indeed not sexy. She is indeed not sexy. And to me personally, she's not sexy. She's not sexy to me personally. But yeah, I mean, I think there's some nuns out there that are hot. I would really love to explore their holes, but that's neither here or there. Um, but yeah, but why the fuck are they wearing that, man? Why are they wearing that, man?
Hey
Bro,
guys, look.
and look, it looks like she's not even wearing a bra. Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? The fuck? This is weird. This is weird. And I'm not hating on Dogma because pretty much all of their members are female. That's not what that's about. That's not what that's about. The issue I have with this the issue I have with this is the fact that they really had these women dress up as nuns and show as much skin as they possibly could without getting in trouble. At least when it comes to at least when it comes to recording it on camera. Like recording their shows on camera. Actually, hold on. I'm about to actually do something. Hold on. I'm gonna keep that up. I can actually go on the internet browser through this. Hold on. I want to do something. Will it let me plug in my mouse? Will my mouse actually work? Because I have a mouse. I have a wireless one. You have to plug in a thing. It's fucking stupid. I have to use the fucking shits. Wait, hold on. Alright. Let's wait, hold on. Hold on. Let's actually look at I can't show y'all these images. Well, I might be able to. Why the fuck? What? Hold on. There we go. Cult. What the This is weird. This is weird. They're sexy. I mean, most of them are sexy, but why are they doing all this? I don't understand. Why are they do? And there's five. Father, yeah, I know you've sinned. Well, in my opinion, I don't think you sinned personally. Because here's the thing, I don't really have an issue with what they want to do, and I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian. I am a spiritual atheist. That's what I am. So I'm not even gonna get into that whole thing of what would be considered a sin and what would not be. I'm not here to have that conversation. I'm not here to have that conversation. What I'm talking about is the thing is I will admit, like a lot of them are sexy, but why are y'all doing all this? Why are we doing all this? Like, what the fuck? I mean, here's the thing. I don't know much knowledge about them, but but in my mind, I would think that like, Dogma was like manufactured. And what I mean by manufactured is they actually didn't want to show this much skin. But they felt like they had to do it so motherfuckers would pay attention. It's true for the most part, but not what people need to understand is not all men not all men want to just see women dressed up in like skimpy ass sexualized ass outfits. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I would like to I like to see like naked women and trans women and stuff, but that's only sometimes. That's only when I'm in the mood to. And I'm not really in that mood often. I'm not really in that mood often. The reason why is because the thing that people need to understand is that like when it comes to like I just don't want to hear no bullshit about like I don't the thing is for me I don't believe as I don't look as women as objects. I look at them as people, just like how men are people. I basically see them equally. Like the shit that men do, women have the capability, and they have the capability to do that shit too. Like I know these motherfuckers. I know there's motherfuckers that try to say like, oh, women shouldn't play black metal. Nigga, shut your bitch ass up. They can play whatever music genre they want. Like, actually, go fuck yourself. Like, real shit, go fuck yourself. I don't know. I don't agree with that shit. That shit pisses me off. All right. Cause here's the thing. Here's the thing. With like these women and trans women and stuff, I may look at them sexually, but it's not just sexually. I look at them way more than that. I look at them way more than that. Like, at the end of the day, I look at them as human beings. I don't look at them as like some inanimate object that at any time I don't just look at women as like objects that just wants you to like fuck them all day every day until their holes are basically destroyed. That's not what I look at them as. Cuz there is such a thing as consent. And in the past I wish some people would respect my consent. But we ain't going to talk about that. But it's just it's annoying. And people and I know some people try to look at me as that and try to say like I know some people in my younger years they try to tell me that like I use women as objects and like you know that it even though it's not true, that shit kind of hurt my feelings during that time. It kind of hurt my feelings. Because how are you going to say that to me when you don't truly know me? Like to me, like with women and stuff, there is way more that they bring to the table than just being seen as just being seen in a sexually manner. There's way more to them than just that. Like shit, it's like shit. If shit, like in most situations, whether it's male or female, we make our own choices. In most situations, we make our own choices. Like shit. Like shit, if there's a female out there that wants to make like 40-minute videos of their asshole winking at you, then if that's really what they want to do, then that's what they're gonna do. And there's not really anything you can really do about it. It's like if there was a dude out there who just wanted to make sexually explicit videos of him shoving jars up his ass. Like if he truly wants to do that, then he's gonna do that, and there's really nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do is if you're able to is to just not pay attention to it. Just not pay attention to it. And I've never been sexist or misogynist. I don't think I ever have. And if there's a point where if there's moments where I have, that shit was not on purpose. That shit was not. If it did happen, it wasn't on purpose. And if it did happen, it was probably when I was a little ass kid. When I was still, I mean, if it did happen, there would be no excuse whether I was like a hormone-filled teenager or not. Like it wouldn't have been an excuse. But I don't think I've ever been sexist or misogynist in my life. Cause that's just something I don't believe in. The thing, cause here's my thing. My thing is that if you have hatred for a woman, it shouldn't be because she's a woman. It should be because of what she did to you and what she put you through. That should be the deciding factor. For me, the deciding factor on me hating someone, it never had anything to do with sex. It never had anything to do with gender, with religion, with race, ethnicity, none of that shit. Cause that shit don't really matter to me when it comes to having hatred for someone. That shit doesn't matter. That shit means nothing. Like, whether you're a man or a woman, a black man, a white man, an Asian man, a Mexican man, like, it don't matter. Like, it don't matter. Like if I hate you, I hate you. And the deciding factors for why I would hate you is because of the shit you say, how you act, and the shit you've done. Those three will be the deciding factors on whether I hate you or not. Those will be the deciding factors. I'm not going to look at women as like invaluable or like weak. Cause honestly, let's be honest. There's probably more than a handful of women out there that could probably whoop my ass. Especially if you're talking about like professional like boxers, MMA fighters, kickboxers, and shit like that. They would probably whoop my ass. And some I learned early on about, and yeah, I did believe it, but I actually saw it with my own eyes when I was in amateur wrestling. I went against a female from Rock Falls. I forgot what her name was, but she was a girl. And she was, and even though I was putting up a good fight, she was still whooping my ass. Because she was just that damn good. At her age, she was just that damn good. Like when I would try to escape out submissions and takedowns, she would just pull new techniques out of her ass and use it on me. and I tried and I tried my best. I tried my best to win and stuff like that, but she just got the better of me in pretty much each encounter. And me and her has had at least 6 encounters on that wrestling mat, whether it be like invitations or tournaments or regionals and stuff like that. Like, we've went against each other at least 6 times, and in all 6 of those shits, she won by a pretty decent margin. She was better. She was a better wrestler than a lot of the fucking boys that were around her age at that time. She was even a better wrestler than a lot of the heavier kids. And I don't know and shit. And my thing is, what I think made her so good, what I think made her so good is the fact that I think something that really helped her a lot is that she didn't get into she started amateur wrestling a lot younger than I did. I didn't start amateur wrestling till like 4th, 5th grade. But it seemed like this chick has been doing amateur wrestling since she was like 3. Which is actually insane. Well, probably not 3, but probably like 5 or 6 years old. And during that time in middle school, we were probably between the age ranges of 11 to 13. Or between the ages of like 11 to 14. We're probably between the ages of 11 to 14. So it was crazy. It was crazy. I'm pretty sure she went on to go to college or some shit. She probably continued in high school, and then she probably kept going when she became eligible for college. She probably kept going at it. Honestly, I don't really remember what happened to her. I don't really remember. Because the thing is I never seen her again after 8th grade. I never seen her again. After 8th grade, I never seen her again. So I don't know. But yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Y'all can do anything y'all put your minds to. I believe in you. I hope y'all enjoyed the stream. Thank you for coming to the stream. Thank y'all for coming to the stream. I really appreciate it. And yeah. I hope y'all enjoy the stream. Y'all can do anything y'all put your minds to. I believe in you. I love y'all so much, and I'll see y'all in the next video or stream or whatever. Love y'all. Peace. Later.